Welcome to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska on Big Cabbage Radio.
Hello, everybody. This is Ag Matters. I'm your host, Ken Hoffman. I'm a farmer out in Palmer. My business is called Matsu Microgreens, and I'm also the executive director of the Matsu Farm Bureau. If anyone out there is interested in learning more about agriculture or farming in Alaska, you can always email me at matsufarmbureau@gmail.com, or you could visit our website at alaskafb.org. For today's show is a special one because we have somebody in the studio again. We have a chef friend of mine, and as you guys know, Ag Matters, we generally interview farmers, Alaska-grown producers, but today we have a professional Alaska-grown consumer, a user of Alaska-grown products. And I know he grows some of his own too, but Chef Kevin, thanks for coming in.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you got into being a chef.
So with a family of 11, I've always been interested in growing our own products and making our own products and being able to financially survive with such a large family. So originally I did 23 years as a Army medic, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in life. So when I was at West Point, stationed in New York, a friend told me to go into my phone and look into my phone, and whatever you have the most pictures of is probably what you want to go into. So I started strolling through my phone, and by all means, I had a bunch of food pictures, and that kind of set the tone for what direction I needed to go in. So at that point, we were looking at Culinary Institute of America for me to retire and go to culinary school. It's pretty pricey in New York, so I wanted to stay. It's a beautiful area up in the Hudson Valley. So we took and came to Alaska for one last assignment. I figured I'd jump out of airplanes as a 40-some-year-old adult, see how much of that I could take, and enjoyed one last assignment here in Alaska, and then retired, and I jumped straight into University of Alaska's culinary program. They are an ACF certified program, so to me, just having that certification and using the same certification that comes from all these other great culinary schools was important to me also. The instructors down there, Chef Puff, Chef Reza Brown, Chef Noah Miller, they were all just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I enrolled in school, I did pastry and kitchen, and it was just, it was a wonderful experience. It was definitely a step in the opposite direction from being a leader in the military. Now I had to learn how to follow again. And then along with deploying out, I had about approximately 4 deployments. Along with deploying out, I needed something to refocus my energy. I thought that was the perfect stream. So upon going to culinary school, I decided that I needed some mentorship. And I took one of our very own locals, Marianne Romano, with Nona's Hysteria, and I seeked out her assistance and that mentorship. So with my family and our endeavors, we decided to move forward with this pursuit. That's about when 2021 was about when we started Alaska Adventure Chef. Alaska Adventure Chef was this idea that I could go to a farmer's market, or I could go to the forest or the mountainside, and I could pick, wild blueberries, or I could grab local vegetables from my neighbor who's growing them, and I could present something on your plate that was absolutely amazing. So we formulated this idea that we would take and start this business and keep it small and work with private clients to bring something wonderful to the community. And then on the backside of that, I also wanted to address food diversity here in Palmer and the Valley and in Alaska. So, one of my goals off to the side was, how do we put food out at a lower cost where it's affordable to our local populations? And I still struggle with that. Every day I think about it and I focus in on it, and it's just something off to the side that is just amazing how much we pay for food. And I think, the start of that is learning how to grow ourselves. I think that's a big piece of that puzzle and something that we love doing as a family. So we started Alaska Adventure Chef. Currently we have 2 part-time employees, And then we have about another 4 to 5 contractors that we work with that are chefs and servers and whatnot. We have a great group of people associated with our business, and it's been amazing ever since. So this past year, I'm going to jump on the business side. We decided also to dive into food trailer also. So we decided to jump into Alaska Adventure Eats. That's the spinoff of our chef business, and I think it's good to have diversity and to kind of know what your local population is looking for. Also, to be able to relate to what is going on in the food industry around you. So, along with things like spending time in Italy after culinary school, spending time at Nona's in the restaurant, I also realize how important it is to run other entities on the food side, just so I have that know-how and I can relate when I go out in the industry, work with others. So we've been running that at Bush's. Carrie Ann was absolutely amazing in helping us out and helping us get set up, and Bruce and Vicky also. Seeing them every morning, when they came and they grab a sandwich was absolutely amazing. I really enjoy that, and that's why I got into the food industry. I think it's that care and passion as an Army medic. I've done 23 years of taking care of other people. In that field, you always want to feel like your value means something. So I think when I cook for people, it brings that aspect of it forward. So now we have 2 businesses, and we are getting ready in the next couple of years. We do have goals set out. We have our short-term and long-term goals, and definitely back in full speed to the chef business this summer. We are really booked up. We do a lot of elopements. We do a lot of weddings. We're out on farms. We fly into Haines. We go down to Homer. We are in Seward. We are all over. That's what I wanted. I like being out there, and I like being able to jump in with a different group all the time. And I love the personalities that come along with that. I love working with our local population, and it's been an amazing experience. I definitely could have not done all this without my family's support. So I think, family is definitely number one. Having 11 kids and a wonderful wife, I think this is our chosen path, and we've accepted all the great things that have come along with it, and we've been blessed so much with that.
Amazing. So 11 kids, 2 businesses. You started Alaska Adventure Chef in 2021, you said?
Yeah, it was approximately 2021, maybe 22-ish.
Okay.
But yeah, we were definitely, I was still I was doing the business program while I was doing culinary school. And I already have a Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Science with an emphasis on conservation and natural resources. So I already had a little bit of an insight on growing and farming, and I knew that we've always wanted a farm. And we started that around that time when I was in culinary school. I'm a multitasker, so I love to try to do 4 things at once. Yeah. And I think you're the same way. You have your hands in a lot of stuff. So,
so tell me more about this farming. You say you do a little bit of farming?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us all about that.
So it's my wife. We definitely use local resources. So when I originally got up here, seeds and soil is absolutely amazing. Jennifer is such a wonderful person. I enrolled my wife in classes for the Palmer area. And why is that important? That's important because of the aspect of farming in Palmer or the valley, I should say, overall, is just different from everywhere else. Mm-hmm. We have a different type of soil, we have different growing conditions, and you need to understand that, and you need to be able to learn that. So my wife was she was ecstatic and excited that she got to go to classes and learn all this knowledge that Jennifer was putting out. And then we started to hit COVID, and that's when classes switched to being online, and it was just a wonderful experience. It was something else to do, being locked down in the community a little bit. It was just something that she got really invested in. So what I found is with a lot of varieties, especially with edible flowers, I should say, it's really hard to get those items. And it's really hard to get items that just don't look that, not only look good on the plate, but that taste good. And I think that's a big thing with food is you can throw anything on a plate and you can make it great and pretty and whatnot, but does it really taste good? What added value does that have? So we saw the need that we definitely needed edible flowers. So everything from pansies to violas to even using our apple blossoms from our apple trees. You know, especially when I'm doing cake work for a client, I love using apple blossoms, you know, especially if it's early for us, like a little mid-spring, but not early spring.
Yeah.
It's just amazing the beauty they offer and then the slight little taste that they have. It's wonderful. It's an added touch that just makes that experience with your wedding or with your experience just so much more. So we grow asparagus. We grow a little bit of everything. We grow tomatoes, we grow squash, zucchini, cucumbers. You know, we have our hands in lettuces. We use those for our family. But when it does come to certain things, we definitely do harvest, from our garden, especially with lemon balm. Lemon balm is something that's unique and that I use quite a bit, especially in pastry. I love extracting it a little bit, basically fusing that with a pastry. I think it's absolutely amazing, and the clients have absolutely loved that. They're like, what is that flavor? Well, how'd you do that, Kevin? And, I sit down and explain everything and give them all my tips and tricks, but I think it's awesome. It just brings that relationship that when I'm cooking with someone, it brings us that much closer.
So when you try to outsource Alaska Grown products, which products are you generally outsourcing to other farms? Or do you grow a lot of your own ingredients?
I think outsourcing microgreens, especially. I found some great microgreen producers here in the Valley. Obviously with you all and Raven Creek also. They're absolutely amazing. And then Sienna. I love having the availability and the price point of the products that you all offer. And the taste is absolutely amazing. The spiciness of such things as the radishes or, the Rambo radish or the sweetness of the cantaloupe or the arugula with that little bit of kick. There's so many special elements about the products that you all produce that I think there's no way I can do that. And we go back to that affordability factor. For me to produce something like that for my clients, it would just raise the prices so much more. You all have such a wonderful crop. Go to you all, and I go to the source, and I shop. I do shop a lot of the farmers markets, and I usually go in there. What I've come to realize is I can't buy in bulk because I'm a small shopper. And I'm shopping for my client. When I do go to the farmers markets, I try to engage with a lot of the farmers and whatnot, but I feel like the conversation's always drawn back to, I'm here to get something very small in quantity, and the price point, I think, is great. And I don't see any reason to try to bulk shop at lower price points and on stuff, especially when I'm getting in small quantities. I think, the one thing I love doing is definitely saving my clients money. The quality and the aesthetics and the work that goes into some of the farmers here in Palmer putting out their crops. It's amazing. Yeah. You can't put a price on some of that. I also use Monica over at Velodensky, and she's absolutely amazing. Yeah. And they have some really beautiful crops, especially for stuff like onions that I can't grow the way she grows them. Yeah. So potatoes is another huge one that Bush's has an amazing potato line, especially with their jazzies, some of their butters that they have in there, their peanut potato. You cannot get those flavors from the grocery store. No. We can get russets, local grown, from some of our local grocery stores, and those are absolutely amazing. But that's only one crop. For me, I would like a variety, and that's one of the bigger things I'll end up sourcing out.
Are there any products out there that farmers aren't growing, but that you would like to see farmers have, that you would buy?
Absolutely. So I work with Anchorage Grains quite a bit. They are a hydroponic grower of lettuces. Yeah. So what's that mean? That means throughout the winter, I can always go down to Anchorage Grains and I'll grab the lettuces I need. And they're absolutely amazing. They're easy to use. They have a nice flavor to them, especially, particular ones. And it's convenient because I don't have to rinse soil off and clean. So I don't have an extra 25 minutes invested in getting those lettuces prepped and ready. Hydroponics. Anchorage Greens does not have enough to hypothetically supply the valley's need for lettuce greens. And I would love to see a similar setup in our area that's similar to Anchorage Greens, where we can get local fresh lettuces throughout the winter. I think it just going to the local grocery store and buying stuff that's being brought in, the quality control is sometimes just horrible. And then the taste just is so bland sometimes. And, when I go and I'm shopping for anything, I want flavor in that product. So that product should speak for itself. And I should not be over flavoring that product when I'm cooking. I should not be dumping a whole bunch of salt on it or pepper on it. It should just take in, required dashes. I think that's what sets us apart in the valley with our produce.
Okay. Tell the listeners how they can book your services. What is the process to do that? I understand that you're booked for this summer, but ideally, what would be the process to book your service?
So on our website, www.alaskaadventurechef.com, we do have questionnaires. We have a beautiful gallery. Me and my daughter built the website. I set the website up to basically be interactive with the community. I do have recipes on there that are free. You don't have to pay for anything. When you go into the website, the gallery is absolutely amazing. I got pastries on there. I got hors d'oeuvres with some apps. I got experiences. So if you wanted to see what the experience is all about and how we work and what it would look like with 20 people sitting at your table and some chefs coming around and taking care of you, I have those pictures on there. And I also have, the connections I've made in the community and whatnot. But when you go to one of the latter tabs, it has questionnaires in there. It says contact the chef or request a consult. You can just click on the tab and you can fill out a questionnaire. And the questionnaire, you can put all your information in, and it allows us to get back with you. And we typically get back with you within 48 hours and coordinate with you directly and create that personalized experience that, our clients are looking for.
Awesome. What about social media? Do you have any Facebook, Instagram? How can people follow what you're doing?
We're on Facebook and Insta. We got Alaska Adventure Eats. We got Alaska Adventure Chef. We're usually pretty jumping as far as posts and whatnot. I need to get on the ball with that. I've been a slacker.
So thank you so much, Kevin, for coming on. It's amazing. Your stories, all about Alaska grown produce, how much it means to you. So we really appreciate you coming on. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska. Ag Matters is a production of Radio Free Palmer, recorded at our studios in Palmer, Alaska. For more information about this program, email manager@radiofreepalmer.org.